Hi guys, Billy back. This is just a quick video. They say that you can't put lipstick on a pig. However, my wife also says that if I make the effort, I can scrub up quite nicely. So with that in mind, I decided to go back to Supermadtoys Scream Face and see what I could do to salvage the situation. Now, the figure had some paint chipping on the face and it also had a terrible stock body, rotten shoes, and the extra hands it came with didn't actually fit the figure. So I decided to go back and see what simple modifications I could do to try and rescue this figure. First and foremost, I decided to repaint the paint chip on the actual face. Nice and simple, just a white brush with some white acrylic, and I managed to stop it from looking like a horrible paint chip car crash. Now, it could do with another coat or two, because white paint can be quite translucent when you first do it. You've got to layer it up, but already it's looking better. And I've also cleaned the bottom of the mouth where there was some of the black running off into the white, and I managed to stop that from bleeding off way too much, so that's a bonus. The stock body was dog shit, absolute dog shit, and it is absolutely horrible. Look at this thing. It's got good articulation, that's for sure. I mean, it even bends back a little bit more than it should, but it's just it's really loose. The foot pegs were the worst part. This thing used to fall over, and it just wasn't very good, and it's horrible. No, it's crap. I have a few spare stock bodies. If you do kit bashing, it's always prevalent to try and find a good few bodies, a few like shoes and hands and foot pegs and wrist pegs, and just get as much as you can of that stuff. Slowly build up your inventory over time, and when you have like drawers full of these items, it will make salvaging things like this a lot quicker and a lot easier. You don't have to keep ordering from China every 5 seconds. You can just go to your drawer and you'll probably have something to help you. So I swapped the body over. Now, I was going to use a TTM 19 body. It was from Sweeney Todd. It was going to be used because I knew the joints were good, I knew the quality was good and everything like that. But one of my friends on Facebook actually said, well, you're really sort of putting a lot of money into a figure that doesn't deserve that money. And he's right. It doesn't deserve a lot of money. It shouldn't deserve a Hot Toys body or anything like that. But I just wanted to try and salvage it because it is a nice sculpt. The mask is a good sculpt, but it just was falling down in some major points. And if you can replace those bits, then it would be an okay figure. It's just, I don't think you should spend the money unless you're willing to pump a bit more cash in. What I did is I actually swapped the body out and gave it new wrist pegs and new ankle pegs, and it works a lot better. Now, what I decided to do with the stock hands that came with it, they were crap, was this is the original hand that come on the figure, which looks right. It's a small glove hand with a wrist peg on, and there's no restriction there. The wrist peg can move quite freely all the way across like that, all the way, no problem. The other gloves, they had cuffs around the edge. I can't show you that now because I've modified them. Nice and simple modification. But I got a craft knife and I removed the end of the cuffs here and I cut this out so that they're shorter. Simple, yeah? Not too bad, nice simple thing. Just a craft knife with a really good blade. Just, they're soft enough. If you warm them up with a hairdryer, they're soft enough to actually be like a knife through butter, and you can cut it down. I then scrape the edges to try and round it off a little bit. It's not great, but it does make them a little better. And as you can see, he's actually got one on his hand now, and it's covered over by the cuff here. And it's not too obtrusive, and he can now hold the voice modulator in that hand. He can now hold the voice modulator in his hand, and he can have a slightly open hand. The one issue, and it is still an issue even now, is the fact that these stock hands they gave us aren't that great. So you see the flickering in the LEDs? Oh, I've got to change the connector, it's annoying me. But as you can see, the fingers are a little thicker on this one than they are on this one. So it's not perfect, but in this pose where he's got his hand down there and his hand up there, you don't really notice it. And the feet pegs and the body is quite firm altogether. I still need to get a stand from him. I'm not 100% confident with it, but still. And then these boots, which were shite, simple plastic shoes with rubbish foot pegs in them that were loose as anything, and the feet rattled around in there as well, which wasn't great. So I decided, I found a pair of boots inside my box of tricks, and they were actually really good quality fabric material boots that have really nice weathering on them. They look like real boots. They're all stitched like pleather. The real quality, and they do work a lot better than the actual stock rubbish ones that they give you. I'm now going to try and weather the bottom of the trousers here and just add a little bit of weathering to the bottom of the costume like he's been running around. This is a costume that he's been using to kill people with, so it shouldn't look like such a nice clean costume. This is the costume of a psychopath and it should reflect that. But that's it, guys. That was a simple quick update video on what I've done. New body, cut the cuffs off the hands and swap the boots around for some better quality footwear for him. And that's it. Okay guys, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. If you could do me a favour, if you could just get the fuck out of my cave. Thanks a lot guys. Bye bye.